Another Star Wars Unlimited Leader Spotlight. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a leader from the Star Wars Unlimited trading card game. We've been going over some cards that we think work pretty well with that character. That being said, there are some rules to talk about before we get started. Not every card we talk about in today's video is going to be guaranteed the best card to use with each particular leader. It's just personal preferences and cards that synergize well at face value. That also being said, not every card we do think works well with each particular leader is going to make its way into the video in an attempt to keep these videos as short as possible. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy your stay here and come back next time for the next Star Wars Unlimited Leader Spotlight. For now, let's take a look at the leader we have today. So it's going to be about, and excuse my pronunciation, Chirrut Imwe. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this name, but I'm pretty sure I'm close enough. That being said, let's talk about this character here. He's a vigilance and heroism leader with the Force and Rebel keyword traits. As an action, you can give a unit you control +0, or actually you can give any unit +0 +2, and when you have 5 more resources, you can deploy him as a leader unit. He's going to be a 3/5 and has a new ability during the action phase. If this unit isn't defeated by having no remaining HP, during the regroup phase, if he has no remaining HP, then you defeat him. So it's not exactly very face value ability that says, oh, stands out. Oh, I understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. But what you have to understand is that this deck is sort of trying to play beefy on the health. You're trying to get as much health as possible, and we're going to have a couple cards to help us do that. We're also going to look at some other cards that are just going to help us overall get most value out of our beefy units, right? So let's get right into it. So what do you want to be doing if you're playing him on double vigilance? Now, double vigilance obviously means you're going to have access to a whole lot of different but rather a whole lot of different protecting aspects to your characters. So the security complex is obviously a great choice here. Epic action, give a shield to a non-leader unit. It's going to allow you to keep your units on the field for a little bit longer and take even more advantage of the big health that you may be playing in your deck. That also being said, you can look at some units like the Consular Security Force for a cost 3/7. It's just a big body with 7 big HP. Then you also have Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a pretty cool card. Another sort of subtype of cards we're going to be looking at is Force cards, because our leader is actually a Force character here. So we're going to be looking at a lot of different Force cards to gain their different effects on the Jedi side. And we're also going to be looking at a lot of different upgrades to play just to beef up our dudes, right? So Obi-Wan Kenobi is a 4/6 Sentinel. When defeated, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly unit. And experience tokens are upgrades that give +1/+1. So it's going to give you more upgrades on your characters, and they're going to make them even more powerful. And let's say that let's reread that ability. When defeated, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly unit, and if it's a Force unit, you get to draw a card. You can also play Yoda, 3 costs, 2/4, restore 2. When he attacks, you get to heal 2 damage from your base. And then when defeated, choose any number of players. They each draw a card. Usually you're just going to pick yourself, but if you're playing in a multiplayer format where you have somebody that's sort of helping you out in a 2-on-2 type of idea, then you can also obviously pick you and your teammate here. Very good ability. Guardian of the Whales is a cool card because we're going to be talking about a lot of upgrades in today's video. So obviously this card is a 2 cost, 2/2, Force unit of course. And the first upgrade you play on this unit each round costs 1 less. Just to help with that whole idea, we're going to Christmas tree up this character, right? So let's take a look at some space units. Distant Patrol is pretty cool. When defeated, you may give a shield token to a Vigilance unit. If you're playing double Vigilance, almost all your units are going to be Vigilant. So that means you can just give a shield token to a unit when it's defeated. But of course, you can use it outside of double Vigilance. Restored Arc 170 is going to be a 2 cost, 2/3, restore 1. Not too exciting, but definitely has its uses. We're going to play some events too, obviously. So some of the options you can play is the Force is with me. 4 cost, Force event. Choose a friendly unit and give 2 experience tokens to it. If you control a Force unit, also give a shield token to the chosen unit, and you may attack with the chosen unit. Also, you can play the It Binds All Things, just a 2 cost event, Force. Heals the 3 damage from a unit. If you control a Force unit, you may deal that much damage to another unit. You can also play Protector if you're playing double Vigilance, 1 cost, 1/1. The attached unit is going to gain Sentinel. Some other upgrades you can play. You can play the Jedi Lightsaber, 3 costs, +3/+3. You can only attach it to a non-vehicle unit. If the attached unit is a Force unit, it gains on attack to give the defender -2/-2. You can also play Resilient, 1 cost, +0/+3. You can play Devotion, 2 costs, +1/+1. The attached unit gains Restore. And those are just some of the cards you can play when you're playing Vigilance in the Star Wars Unlimited trading card game. So let's say you're not playing Vigilance, instead you're playing Cunning. Obviously, your base choices are actually pretty good here. I like Jeddah City. Epic action, give a non-leader unit -4 attack. That's going to allow you to keep your guys on the field a little bit longer, and it's going to give you the ability to get more advantage out of the characters you have put on the field. So what else you can do? Ezra Bridger is a cool unit. He's a force unit, 3 cost, 3/4. When you play this unit, when this unit completes an attack, look at the top card of your deck. You may play it, discard it, or leave it on top of your deck. Just a generally good card, but the fact that he's a force unit in Cunning, which is pretty rare, is even more of a benefit to him. Then you have Chewbacca, 5 cost, 3/6 Sentinel. When this unit is attacked, ready him. So he's gonna have Sentinel and he's got that big body. So when you're using his ability along with your leader card here, he can get pretty beefy and he can tank a couple attacks and actually swing back for some decent damage as well. Also, you can play Outer Rim Headhunter, 2 cost, 1/3, raid 1 on attack. If you control a unit, you may exhaust a non-leader unit. If you control a leader unit, you may exhaust a non-leader unit. You can also play Vanguard Ace, 2 cost, 1/1. When played, each other card you play this phase, for each other card you play this phase, give an experience token to this unit, beefing up that unit. Even though it's only 2 costs, it can get pretty hefty if you're playing enough cards during your turn. I really like Spark of Rebellion in this idea. 2 cost, a Spectre event. It's going to look at your opponent's hand. You can discard a card from it. It's really important because if you're playing an upgrade sort of heavy deck or a deck that's going to have a really one central theme, the ability to look at your opponent's hand and say, well, I see this card's going to get rid of my upgrade, then he's going to really do some damage to me in my game plan, I can just get rid of it. Absolute great value. And then also, if they just have a really powerful threat in their hand, you can look at it and get rid of it as well. And then you can also play, obviously, the Asteroid Sanctuary, a very defensive Cunning card, 2 costs, exhaust an enemy unit, give a shield token to a friendly unit that costs 3 or less. And then, of course, you can play, finally, Snapshot Reflexes, which is going to be an upgrade, 1 cost, +1/+1, you may attack with the attached unit. Just a generally good card, but the fact that it's an upgrade is going to give you even more options. When I'm looking at this unit, it's definitely a valuable option because of the customizability of Star Wars Unlimited, but Aggression's a way you can obviously play this unit. So your base options are pretty few, your base options are obviously just like everybody else's, but I here actually prefer the 3 health base, just for that extra health there. Now looking at some units you can play in the deck, you can play the Wampa, 4 cost, 4/5, Overwhelm. So it's just going to be generally a bigger, beefier unit for its value there. So you're just going to get more out of it than some other people may be able to. And also you're just going to get some decent value out of the card in general. You can play Mace Windu. I actually really like this card in this deck. 7 cost, force, 5/7, ambush. Also, when you attack with this unit and you defeat another unit, ready him. And obviously, that ability is limited by his health, but obviously, if you're giving him more health each turn, you can actually extend the usage you get out of Windu here. Absolutely amazing. 3 cost, Star Wing Scout, 4/3. When defeated, if you have the initiative, draw 2 cards. Oftentimes this card's ability is this card is brought down by the control of when you actually get to activate that ability, but sometimes that +2 health will be allowed to survive a turn, and as such that means you can actually try to get a little bit more of an advantage off of this card than you might have otherwise been able to. Then you could also play the red 3 cost, 2/3, raid 1. Each other friendly heroism unit gets raid 1. We're playing a lot of different heroism units in this. Well, you probably will be in a particular heroism deck, so this card is always just a welcome card. Then obviously you can play Force Throw, 1 cost, force, choose a player, that player discards a card from their hand. Then if you control a force unit, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the cost of the discarded card. Obviously we're playing a lot of different force units, so it definitely has its place in the deck. But that's actually all going to be all for aggression. So if you're not playing aggression, obviously the final main aspect to play with this leader is going to be command. So what are some of the command cards you have access to? So taking a look at the base first, the base options, you can obviously play the Echo Base or the Command Center. You can also play the Energy Conversion Lab, which is perfectly fine. Not to say that you won't need it, or I don't think you don't need it, but also I think it's a pretty good option here to go for the simple Echo Base. And then also you have Bail Organa, 1 cost, 1/2. Action, give an experience token to another friendly unit, allowing you to buff up your units even further. Then also action exhaust is important to note that there. You also have Colonel Yularen, 2 cost, 2/3. 2/3 stat line. When you play a green unit, you may handle 1 damage from your base. A little bit of a defensive player there. You also have the Echo Base Defender, interestingly enough. 3 cost, 4/3, Sentinel. You can actually get more uses out of him, obviously, with your main character's ability, your leader's ability. Homestead Militia, similar idea, 3 cost, 3/4, but while you control 6 or more resources, this card will gain Sentinel. So at face is a little bit worse than the Echo Base Defender, but being the fact that it's very similar, you can see this as an extra copy or extra few copies of Echo Base Defender. And also you can see it as well. This character technically has a bigger body at 4 HP than 3 on Echo Base Defender, but very similar cards in that respect. Then you can also look at some spaceship cards like the Bright Hope for a cost 2/6 Sentinel. When you played, you may return a friendly non-leader ground unit to its owner's hand, and if you do, you get to draw a nice card there. Then you also have the Consortium Star Viper, 3 cost 3/3. While you have the initiative, this unit gains Restore 2. A little bit of helping out there with the healing up your base. Then you can also play a card like Tactical Advantage, a simple 1 cost, give a unit +2/+2, just to allow you to make your units a little bit bigger. And then finally, if you want to take a look at some different heroism cards, there's not many, but you can play a card like, for example, the Regional Sympathizers, 4 cost, 3/4, Restore 2, simple ability, but it sort of helps with the basic idea of trying to play a little more defensive, right? And then also, when it comes down to the no aspect cards, you can play the Colorian's Firefighter, 5 cost, 4/4, and has Sentinel. So all these cards sort of play into one basic idea, and that's defensive. Now, obviously, blue kind of helps you out with that in general, so when you're playing a blue leader, it's always something you have on the table, but I think obviously this leader was meant to exemplify those traits more so than some other leaders in the game. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys come back for some more Star Wars Unlimited leader spotlights, and make sure you guys go check out some of the ones we posted in the past. Well, that's going to be all for now, but if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and watch some of our other videos that we've made on this channel. Also, give this video a like if you thoroughly enjoyed it. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future content. And I hope to see you guys back at the Roost.